and good evening, good evening, good evening. I want to welcome you to tonight's edition of Bible study. If you are taking this journey with us, you know we are going from Genesis to Revelations in chronological order. I am Regina L. Stillman, the spiritual thought leader, and I'm so glad that you joined me on this fine day. I've got DJ Rockin' Ron and Mrs. DJ Rockin' Ron in the house. Good evening to you, and I'm so glad that you're here. So much love coming to you. Thank you for being in the Lion's Den today. Chef Nobi has come in, and Chef Nobi, I'm sure you got something cooked up and tasty for us on this beautiful day. Chef Nobi is a chef. She is a streamer. So good to have you with us as well. Nothing but love. Dinner, baked barbecue chicken with Carolina sweet sauce, wild rice with apple and sausage, candied yams, broccoli spears. You know what? I almost can't talk because I am literally, my tongue and the saliva glands are loosening and juicing in as I'm reading this menu, Lord Jesus. Candied yams, broccoli spears with butter and spice, red velvet cake with cream cheese frosting and wet walnuts, chocolate cookie, ice cream, or pink satin panties punch. Woo, pink. Pink satin panties punch. I'm not gonna ask what. I'm gonna leave that alone. Enjoy with some smoke. All right. Chef Nobi laid it out. Listen, we used to sing a song back in the day. Come over here. The table is spread and the feast of the Lord is going on. I can't have none. Okay, Chef Nobi, I'm going to trust you on that. I'm going to take your word for that. But truly, she's got a feast of the Lord going on over here. And it sounds absolutely delicious, minus the pink satin panties punch, which I can't have. All right. Now, listen, for everybody that's here that is not in my chat, I appreciate you for coming in. I appreciate the love. Those that will read it. Everything but the drink. I got you. I got you, Chef Nobi. I read through the lines and caught the smoke. I did. Everybody that is not in my chat, and even for those that will listen to it later on demand, I want to say thank you for taking the time to come in and listen and share with us on tonight. Now, this is going to be a very familiar passage of scripture, the first part anyway. If you are doing the reading, again, I just highlight and do an overview. One reason, you caught me right before I got started. One reason the Bishop of Twitch is here. I love this brother, and he is a blessing, and he is part of this post movement of what God is doing in this hour outside the four walls of the church. I love you, sir, and peace be multiplied unto you. And his beautiful wife in Cookies could not stop without absolutely appreciating God for that beautiful queen. She is something to behold. So much love to you both. Peace and blessings to you on tonight. Now, you should be reading, I'm only doing the highlights, but you should be reading the passages in their entirety. So tonight you would have, or today you would have read Deuteronomy 28 verses 1 through 68. That covers the prophecy concerning Israel's future, blessings or cursings ahead. Also the Palestinian covenant, which you find in Deuteronomy 29, 1 through 29, Deuteronomy 30 verses 1 through 20. And also you'll have a reading in the book of Numbers, the 36th chapter. So that is what you should have read for today. As I said, if you actually are doing the reading, sorry about that. If you're actually doing the reading, my apologies. Yes, she is. And you will be holding her. Come on. I love it. I love it. I love it. You two are just God's blessing here on planet Earth. I love you. And let me say one reason. It gives a beautiful example, as I said on yesterday. Sometimes we don't have a model to go by, but I believe that the two of you all, that's exactly what you're providing on the earth, not only in your home to your children, but to everybody that sees you, because you are just a beautiful couple. Now, I'm going to start, everybody knows this passage, and I'm just going to highlight it tonight. I'm not going to stay a long time. I've had a full day, which I have no negativity there, but I play for two different churches. I do music ministry at 9:30 in the morning, and then I do another one at another church. One's in Olathe, and then I drive about 20 miles and go do music ministry at another church. And we are building music departments, and I have the blessing blessing, if you will, of I just started a youth choir. I have the main choir, but I am starting a youth choir and a youth ministry there at this beautiful ministry. And I'm so excited. I don't know about you, but I love working with young people. And for whatever reason, young people just migrate to me. And that keeps me young, and it keeps me alive and healthy and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, uh, I have to say my 6 decades plus of life are showing off on me. Keeping up with the youngsters. Listen, my little body today, but I love them. Oh my God. Nobody can love on you like some little kids. I'm telling you, some little kids and some teenagers. Nobody can love on you like the young folk. So I appreciate all the love, but Mother Boyd's her body's a little tired today. But I'm thankful that we are going and growing, and it's a beautiful thing. You used to sing first soprano in the youth choir. Come on here, Chef Noby, come on with it. I love it. And you know, the young people who have heretofore been doing nothing, just kind of sitting there, and some have not been coming. And seeing them coming back to the church and seeing them excited, that's all I needed today. And the loves and and the hugs, all of that was just extra, just extra. And God's gonna do great things through these kids because they can sing. So that's a blessing. Now, as we get ready, Deuteronomy 28, this is going to be a very familiar passage of scripture. I'm not going to go to the Palestinian promise and all of that. You all know that we are currently looking at everything that's going on right now with the Middle East and the arguing, the fighting, rather. What am I trying to say? In the Palestinian area, the brothers will always be fight. Come on, one reason you directed the youth choir and you still work with the youth ushers. Come through with that. Young people are a blessing, and they will keep you young. Let me say that. Folks are getting old. That's because they're hanging around all old people. These young people will keep you young. Please believe that. And I just love it. Now, we know that there is so much going on, so much animosity, so much fighting, so much killing. I definitely am not for the genocide, and you can call it what you will. I'm not going to make this a political moment here and stream, but you all know even from when I left off streaming, you're killing little babies and children. That there's something wrong with that picture. Now, the Palestinian promise. We know that this family has been fighting forever. The fighting didn't just start. The fighting has been going on ever since these families, and at the end of the day, anytime you try to fix God's situation, God said, I'm going to give you a promise, Abraham. And the promise was through Isaac. But before Isaac got here, Sarah and Abraham had already tried to fix that thing up. And so out of that, we had Ishmael that went to Hagar. And at the end of the day, they've been fighting ever since. They've been fighting ever since they got here. I mean, from the time Sarah put them out in the desert, left them for dead, all of that. Listen, this has been a struggle, and the struggle continues. I'm not going to get into all of that. If you want to read the Palestinian promise that was given, go ahead and do that. You will find that in today's reading. I want to concentrate on the very familiar passage of scripture because it is very familiar, but I just want to refresh your minds and just think about what God has promised us. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe all and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come upon thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord your God. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. Blessed shalt be the fruit of thy body, your children, grandchildren, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kine, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. I'm going to come back and I'll talk about that a little bit as well. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out. The Lord shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee seven ways. I love that scripture. The Lord shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses and all that thou settest thine hand unto, and he shall bless thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. The Lord shall establish thee an holy people unto himself, as he hath sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God and to walk in his ways. What a beautiful series of blessings to be decreed and declared upon the people that do know their God, to those that have relationship with the Lord. And that is an open opportunity to anyone. And this is the part, especially I would and pray that all of our denominationalism and all of our separations that we have, as you hear me talking about this concept of post church. And again, I'm not against the church, but I would love to see post church experiences where it's no longer about what denominational affiliation you are from, what sect, what group. I believe that in the last days, when God starts to pour out his spirit on all flesh, that we're going to see these barriers and these boundaries begin to fall. They're going to begin to cease to exist, because at the end of the day, this is open to everybody. We've already seen a tremendous shift. I know, and I don't have to bite my tongue, because we already know, for those that are older, that I speak truth when I say I grew up in an era when uh, Pentecostal was against Baptist, Baptist was against AME, AME was against CME, Presbyterian. Everybody was against everybody. And folks were saying, if you're not of us, you're not saved. If you're not of us, you don't know God. If you're not of us, as a matter of fact, back in the days that I came from, there was not even the coming together in fellowship. So I praise and bless God for that change which has happened, and I've seen it in my lifetime. But we still have so much farther to go, because this is available to everybody. Nobody has cornered the market. Nobody is one up above another. I talked the other day about the idea of I've got favor over somebody else. God is not a respecter of person. So when we begin to embrace what God is speaking to us, if you develop relationship with God, and that's the key right there. If you are open to developing relationship with God, God will bless you. And at the end of the day, it's a cause and effect. I'm not one that necessarily, I know many people will, and even the wording and the verbiage often is about cursing. And I personally don't believe that God curses his creation. You can say and believe however you want to, but I think, in my way of looking at it, in my understanding, even though those are the words that it got translated to, and those are the words that we speak, I believe that even when we talk about how God cursed the woman, how God cursed, God will tell us what's going to happen. If you do this, this is what's going to happen. I don't believe that he's necessarily speaking a curse on you. He's giving you a heads up on, if you go into, hey, it's door number one, door number two. If you go in door number one, this is what you're going to get. If you go in door number two, this is what you're going to get. But it's not because I'm placing a curse on you per se. That's not my energy that I embrace. You all can take that and run with it, or you can reject it. It doesn't matter to me. But at the end of the day, I believe that everything that we begin to identify, from my perspective, I like to talk about causes and effects versus curses and punishments. There is an effect, and you got to get whatever that cause is. It does have some effect that is going to be a result of that, and the result is going to be appropriate or in line with whatever it is that God said. You don't have to take that. I just, for karma is real, Chef Nobi. Come on here. Karma is real. I embrace an all loving God. And I know some people are, yeah, but still, you said, da 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 da. And even when he said to the woman, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, I don't believe that was a curse. I don't believe that all the things as far as childbirth and this. God was just saying, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. It just is. I don't necessarily see those things as curses. I see them as God telling us, if you choose door number 1, door number 2, door number 3, this is what's behind the door. And you don't have to be surprised, like, let's make a deal. I'm going to just tell you up front and then you choose. But these are the blessings, and they are so powerful. I love how God is like, if you just walk in my way. And to me, the essence of that is not so much rooted in my denominational teaching. The only thing he cursed was the land. Come on here, one reason. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you. And I'm glad to hear you say that. There's a lot of people that just cannot, by any stretch of the imagination, come into any level of understanding the differences. But again, for those that can receive it, please do. And for those that can't, as my father said, just like eating fish, eat the meat, throw away the bones. So please feel free to do that. Let every man be persuaded in his own mind. But I love how God really just gives us so much blessing. God just gives us, he just over and over blessings abundantly, bountifully, without any kind of, just lavishly, if I can use it that way. And this is a consequence of being in relationship with God. This is an effect. This is an effect of being in love and in relationship and in union with God. It just automatically goes along with the relationship. Can I put it like that? It's like these are the perks and the benefits of the marriage. These are the perks and the benefits of the blessing. These are the perks and the benefits of the relationship. Definitely, we have a concept, and I don't necessarily feel this in the natural, but we have a concept that we say, oh, they married up. They married up. And at the end of the day, I understand the concept. I'm resistant to the way we utilize it against people in certain ways. Because, at the end of the day, we all on an equal plane. But when it comes to us and God, we married up. You understand what I'm saying? We married up. Because, listen, I'm trying to tell you, for all that God has, and if we really stop and think about it, we, without God, have nothing. We have nothing. Everything that we have comes from God. Everything, everything that we are comes from God. So at the same time, I think it's just mind blowing that he stops and says, God stops and says, listen, you want to be in relationship with me? I hold nothing back from you. I'm not even going to make you do a prenup. I'm just going to marry you. You're my bride. I love you. And because we have this relationship, I'm going to give you everything that you can imagine. So he starts to kind of outline it for the children of Israel. This is what you're going to get. This is what's going to happen. Now, even in saying that, blessings pressed down, shaken together, and running over and over and over. And we receive. And we also give, because I said one of the things I hope that you're doing in this journey is blessing God. Before you ask God to bless you with A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, can you bless God first before you start asking? Because even with the concept of the relationship, even if you married up, you don't want, as the person that is the up, you don't want to feel that person is only with you to get what they can get out of you. I said something right there. Come on and swallow that whole roll, because that was a good one. Nobody that's the up, and in this instance, it's definitely God. Nobody that's in the up wants to think that the only reason why, come on, OG Diva, come on. Nobody wants to think that the only reason why they are with you is because of what you can get. They want you to be with them because of relationship, because of love, because of care. And this is where I'm hoping, don't take old habits into new situations. Come on here, Chef Nobi. This is where I want us to change our mindset about our relationships with God. So many fear. I don't want to go to hell. Well, that's surely not a reason to have a relationship with God. That is definitely not. Fear has torment. And if the only reason why you're doing something is out of fear, and I've heard preachers get up and say, I don't care if you scare men, scare. No, no. When you have a relationship and you are scared of your partner, that is not a good nor healthy relationship. I don't care. So even this idea, if you carry it over first natural into the spiritual, if you understand that fear in the relationship is going to automatically cause some distance and some disconnect between you and God, if the only reason why you're with God is out of fear. So this is not what the relationship is about. We can't be God-given, but we must be givers because of who we are in him. Come on, Cassandra, you better talk to me out there. Thank you for that. So as we look at how all of this flows together, why did God even go through the whole essence of bringing Jesus to the earth? Because just like he had with Adam and Eve in the beginning, they had love, communion, and fellowship. And that was broken when man sinned. Again, because man came into a corrupted psychology. God still came looking for Adam and Eve in the garden, just like he did on the regular. He didn't turn his back on them and say, I can't look on the sin, so, bump y'all. He came in the garden just like he always did on a daily. But what had happened was they hid themselves from him because they were naked, but they've been naked the whole time. So that didn't even make any sense. If he'd been coming and communing with you while you were naked all this time, why would it suddenly make a difference? Because they had corrupted their psychology, their mind, their stinking thinking. They had lessened themselves in how they saw their ability to be in relationship with God. And I still see people today that will name the name of Christ and still have difficulty embracing their relationship with God without the shame-based or the fear-based reality that's constantly popping up in that relationship. But God doesn't want that. The whole purpose of sending Jesus was to bring us back into fellowship, union, and relationship. The idea every day God himself comes in the garden and just chills with us and has a chit chat and let's talk and let's share what's on my heart. And I'm gonna tell you, you tell me what's on your heart, I'll tell you what's on my heart. Let's just have a conversation. That communion is what God has longed for ever since it was broken. And we go into ritualism instead of understanding its relationship that he's been desiring to restore the whole time. The rules and the regulations, the Bible says in Galatians chapter 5, the law is the schoolmaster. Come on, diva. The law is the schoolmaster. It's the tutor. It's just like when you train your children from the point in time that they're birthed until they're able to do for themselves. But the goal is to ultimately have a place in their lives where you no longer have to have rules and regulations. They have now learned how to carry themselves, how to have relationships, how to make good sound judgment, and I use this as my analogy all the time. There is a season when that baby is small. You're going to tell the baby, don't touch the stove. The stove is hot. But when that teenager turns a certain age and they want to eat, that stove is still hot, but I want you to go in there and touch it. I want you to get a pot, a pan, a bowl, a plate, something, and go in there and utilize that stove and feed yourself. That rule, the stove is still hot, but the rule and the boundaries changed based on the maturity level. So as we come into a different relationship and mature in God, and it grows deeper, and the depth of that goes deeper, and we mature and we can handle things, we now no longer have to see the oven as a danger. We understand the oven as a tool that can meet our needs and help us to supply what our bodies need to eat. So this is how we grow in God. So the whole idea of rules, and I've always said rules without relationship will lead to rebellion. Once you start pumping out a whole lot of rules, but there's no relationship, you might as well get ready. Rebellion is going to follow, because at some point that individual gets tired of no relationship but a bunch of rules. So that is not what God was trying to set up with us to begin with. God desired to reconstruct and have the fellowship and the relationship that we had from the very beginning. So as we look at all of what God is saying, if we could just have relationship, if we get tight in this thing, let me tell you how I'm going to bless you. And this is really, I take this, if you'll allow the way I deal with it. And for some can't come here, but this is my husband telling me all of the blessings that he's going to lavish on me, all the love he's going to lavish on me, all the ways he's going to lavish on me, all the ways he's just going to bless me, bless me, bless me, all the ways he's just going to make me feel like the queen, all the ways he's just going to take care of me and make sure that not only do I have meager provision, but I got more than enough. The Lord is more than enough. And I'm telling you, if you come into relationship with me, Regina, this is what I'm going to give you. Baby, I'm going to knock your socks off. I'm going to blow your mind. And as truck driving, I often say, showing our age, your nostrils and your nose will be wide open, big enough for a Mack truck to drive through it. If you can come into this level of relationship with me, it's just going to automatically be lavished upon you because I love you. And because we're in this relationship, I want you to know the blessings shall come on thee and they're going to overtake you. If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord, if you love my voice, if you love me, and you're not only listening to me whispering sweet nothings in your ear, but you're whispering sweet nothings in my ear back. If we got this mutual relationship going on, and it's a love that's developed, and it's a love that has come into a place of maturity, I promise you the blessings are going to overtake you. Because every time you turn around, I'm going to give you another blessing. And then when you turn the next way, I'm going to give you another blessing. And then when you move, I'm going to give you another blessing, because you're my queen, you're my bride, you're everything that I love. Listen, you're everything that I hope for, everything that I need. You are so beautiful. Okay, so at the end of the day, when we start looking at this, I see this as God's love letter to us. How if we are in relationship with him, if we come on, Chef Nobi, if we have the love and I say this, I've preached this ever since I was a teenager. I heard the voice of the Lord tell me, seek my face, not my hand. Oh, come on here. Seek my face, not my hand. And my relationship is not about the hand and what I can get from his hand. My relationship is about one thing have I desired of the Lord, that will I seek after, that I might behold the beauty of the Lord and inquire in his, hey, I felt something right there because that's my verse, and inquire in his temple. If I just sit here and look at the beauty of his face, if I just sit here and dwell on the awesomeness of his grace, if I just sit here and allow my mind to just run, just my imagination running away with me, if I just let my imagination run and think about all the good things that God has done for me and all the good things that he has yet in store for me, but it's not just the things, it's God himself. It's God himself that I'm fascinated about. It's God. Now, I reflect back and think about what he's already done. I reflect back and think about what he's already given. But the reality of it is, those things are just the byproduct. Those things are just the residue. Come on here, Diva. Those things are the things that just automatically come along with the relationship. But the key and the crux, the cause, the blessings are the effect. The cause is all about, because I love him. Woo! Do you understand what I'm saying? God doesn't change. However, we must change as God lights our paths, renews our minds and heart transplants to mature us spiritually, physically, emotionally, and mentally. So we live, move, and have our being. Come on here, sis. You better talk to me, Cassandra. And that's the thing, Cassandra, to live in him, to move in him, to have our being in him. I'm not trying to look for anything outside of him. So, I wrote a song. It's a little worship song. And somebody was like, I can't sing that because the words of the song say, you are what I live for, you and nothing more. Well, I want more than that. Listen, but what are you talking about? He's what I live for, and if I have God, I've got everything. What are you talking about? That I want. I'm not asking him for everything. I just have it, and he's gonna give me everything. He said, "If your ways please me, I'm gonna give you the desires of your heart." Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? If my love relationship with him is established and solid and settled, baby, it's just automatic. These things, as he said, they'll overtake you. Not only will you be blessed, but the blessings will overtake you because he's going to be in such a mode of blessing and giving. There's no way, and somebody said already, you can't beat God given. I think it was Cassandra. You can't beat God given. But I said, bless God first before you start asking God for his blessings. Now, I don't do that as some kind of backdoor way to get more blessings. I do that because I love him. I don't know how much I can stress this point because we have reduced our relationships to God to what we can get, like he's a cash cow. Or when I'm in distress and when I'm in trouble, I call on his name and please come, please right now, Jesus, come right now and work it on out. Please deliver me. Baby, I want you to understand, I want to encourage you to move forward in relationship. Chef Nobi, my grandma said, as long as you have God, you'll have all you need. And there's nothing else. There's nothing. If you have, and the desire for God over everything. Hear me when I say this. The desire for God over everything opens up the door for everything. Oh, that's good. That's good to that's good to my soul right there. The desire. Hear what I'm saying? Y'all like, no, because I know I want this, and I'm not gonna say that that's all I live for. I want more. Baby. In him you live, in him you move, in him you have your being. Outside of God, you are nothing. Outside of God, you have nothing. You can toil and you can labor and you can do everything under the sun, and you're still gonna end up empty. You're still gonna end up broken. You're still gonna end up depressed and heavy laden. You're still gonna, but baby, when you got God, oh my goodness, you got everything. And to desire God, come on, Kim Possible 7. There's my preaching sister right there. To desire God over everything opens the door to everything. But y'all out here trying to get, I want to reach and I want to get that. I want to reach and I want to get the other. I want to reach baby, I'm telling you, I'm trying to give you a shortcut. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. If you desire God and he's everything that you desire, everything that you long for, everything that you need. If you press in right there, it opens the door to everything. But when y'all out here trying to do all this other, you're expending energy and you're wondering why the blessings won't overtake you. Matter of fact, it's like, where's my blessing? I can't, you talking about being overtaken in the blessing. I can't even find the blessing. I feel like I'm cursed. Come on, one reason. You got folk running around feeling like they're cursed. But I'm trying to tell you, it's a cause and effect. God did not curse you. What God did was tell you this door behind it, if you choose it, this is what's behind that door. This is what you're going to get. This is what's behind this door. This is what you're going to get. And you make choices. Come on, y'all. Y'all not ready for me today. We don't want to acknowledge that I made this choice. We don't want to acknowledge that I made some choices and I need to go back. And let me tell you this, even in the going back, I want you to realize that the only way that I see and know that you can erase some of those mishaps and missteps and mess ups, make God number one. Hear me. Because once you come into that relationship and God is your everything and God is your total desire, it will begin to overtake you with blessing. And so those mishaps, those missteps, those mess ups, they're going to get overtaken by blessings. Am I talking to anybody in here? They're going to be overtaken by blessings because eventually those blessings are going to catch up, because it's almost like being in the deficit. It's almost like being in the red. But something about when you put God first, honey, it will bring you all the way back to the black. It will bring you all the way out of the bloodiest red deficit you ever seen and bring you all the way back into the black where it's just, honey, come on, Kim Possible. I looked up and saw that hand shaking and something, hey, something shook up in my spirit. Because I'm telling you, it will overtake you. I promise you. Come on here, Cassandra. I found all that I needed. I found it in the Lord. Nobody but Jesus can handle me and my neediness. He does it with such abundance. Bless his holy name. Y'all better come on here. I'm telling you, that's how you want to come out from under the effects of your choices. Again, I'm not telling you, you're not cursed. God did not curse you. I'm telling you the effects. The effects of your bad choices can be undone and overcome by the effects of choosing God first. My God, today. Making God the love of your life and the lover of your soul. Come on here. And it will cause those blessings to overtake those bad choices, decisions, actions. Am I talking to anybody in here? But as long as you're out here trying to obtain of your own strength, by your own ability, by and through your own knowledge, baby, you're just going to keep coming back empty. And then come back emptier. And then come back emptier. And it's like, God, what am I doing wrong? He's not first. He's not primary. He's not foremost. God is not your all in all. You got all this other stuff out here in front of him. And he's just sitting there waiting for you to make the decision. Because again, nobody wants to be a cash cow in a relationship. I've already told you, I'll open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing you won't have room enough to receive. But listen here, don't just come to me and have your hand out for the blessing, but you won't be with me in the good times, in the bad times, in the thick and the thin, because I'm going to definitely be with you, said the Lord. But will you stay with me? That's the $64,000 question. Will you be faithful and committed to me? Will you not commit adultery on me? Come on. Will you not lust after something, somebody, or something else over me? Come on, y'all. I'm talking real heavy in here. But this Deuteronomy 28 is really the response of God's loving on us, God's relationship and intimacy with you. He said, listen, I'll cause all these things to happen, and you don't even have to sign a prenup. Woo! Come on. Blessed shalt thou be in the city. Blessed shalt thou be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flock. Listen, I got stuff and I'm blessed, not because I'm chasing after stuff and trying to get this and that and the other, but I got stuff and I'm blessed because I'm in this marital relationship with the Lord. And listen, the cattle on 1,000 hills is his. And he said, listen, baby, go out there and choose which one you want, which hill you want, which one do you want? Am I talking to anybody? My God, today. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. And I do want to say, God's bringing us to the point, and I don't care, even in this day's economy, I'm speaking to folks in this station, on this channel, to understand God's getting ready to give you a store. You understand what I'm saying? God's getting ready to give you abundance. God's getting ready to give you increase. You've been faithful over a few things. Now he's going to make you ruler over many. There is abundance that's getting ready to come so that you have to store. It's not just going to be enough to make it just through the day and barely scraping by. God said some of you have seen that season where the famine was in the land, on your house, on your finances, on your children, on your body, on different areas of relationship. But God said, listen, the 7 years of famine is over, and if you you just make me number one, I promise you that I will give you an abundance that you'll have more than enough. Come on here. Woo! Are you ready for the abundance? And even in saying that, when we talk about the store, the Lord is like, I told you I'll give you a store. The blessed shall be thy basket. But listen, come on here, Kim Possible. I feel something turning, Diva. I feel something. At the end of the day, I also want us to understand this. If he put it in your basket and you eat, you greedy thing. I had a little nephew, he's my oldest nephew. And he was just a toddler. And he could talk, but something was going on and somebody ate up all the food and he was so disgusted. And he said, you giddy thing, you giddy thing. Sometimes we are that giddy thing. We just won't leave nothing in the basket. We gobble up everything we see. And then we look around and say, well, God, what else can I consume? What else can I eat up? What else? Listen, leave something in your basket so you can have something to store. Am I talking to anybody? So as we come into this blessed place, as we come into this season, and that requires discipline. Come on, discipline me, Lord, discipline. So at the end of the day, he said, I'm going to give you a store, but you can't eat everything in the basket and expect to have store. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out. Y'all, everywhere I go, I'm blessed. The Lord shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to get ready to close because I think I'm coming to the end of my time. But I've said this and I've used this analogy many, many times. Look at this. You come in one way, talking about your enemy, and they flee before you 7 ways, which means that you now have 8 different options to get out. Come on, you in a room and they come in one way, and the Spirit of the Lord lifts up a standard against them and they flee out 7 ways. You now got 8 ways out. Come on here, you better talk to me. Can I say it one more time for the people in the back? They come in one way, but the Lord will send them out and have them flee before you 7 ways, which now you got 8 ways to get out. Come on, you better talk to me. God has a way of taking that thing that was meant to destroy you, and he'll turn it into your blessing. Come on, I promise you that God is that will stand up for you and will make sure and very sure, come on and talk to me, that no weapon that's formed against you shall prosper. And as we look at it, and we know 8 ways of escape. You better talk to me. Come on, Diva. Every track, every way they went out of here, honey, that left me another way to get to another way of escape. I want us to understand as we come and as we really understand all things are working together for my good. So when I begin to talk about what's going on, even with my enemies, if you want to consider that, if God is allowing them to flee before me 7 ways, and I now have 8 ways of escape, all things are working together for my good. Come on, all things are working together for my good because I love him. To them that love God and to them which are called according to his purpose. Come on here. So I'm not worried about my enemy. Come on, Chef Nobi. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I'm not. My enemy who's going to get sent out of here 7 ways is my blessing. I'm not getting ready to be stirred up, depressed, distraught, fearful. I'm looking for my 8 doors that's getting ready to pop up out of here. You understand what I'm saying? When my enemy flees out of here, I'm looking for my 8 options that the Lord, he's getting ready to give me. Some new options. Are y'all understand? There's some options that came only because my enemy showed up. Oh! Can I say that one more time? There are some options that came just because my enemy showed up. Are y'all understanding what I'm saying? One more time for the people in the back. There are some options that manifested in your life only because your enemy showed up and had to flee out 7 ways. Come on. Because all things work together for them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. I hope y'all understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth. The Lord shall the blessings upon thee in thy storehouses. Come on here. Command. And the Lord commands a blessing upon you. And that's where I'm going to close tonight. The Lord commands a blessing upon you. I'm going to say it one more time. The Lord commands a blessing upon you and thy storehouse. And in all that thou settest thy hand to do, he shall bless thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. The Lord commands a blessing upon you. Come on here. The Lord commands. Do you understand the power of that word command? And I want you, as you leave here tonight, to understand, for those that are in that mystery of marriage and that covenant relationship with God, and as we come into the union and the unity and the oneness of the Spirit as his bride, do you understand God commands the king who has the authority to command it and the authority to make it happen? The king, my husband, the Holy One of Israel, commands. Woo! My God, we must build God mansions of praise. Come on here, Cassandra, because he deserves all of that. Come on, I'm much obligated to do so. You understand what I'm saying, Diva? God commands the blessing to be upon us and our storehouse and everything that we set our hands to do. And he shall bless thee in the land which God has given thee. It's a love letter. It's a love letter. It's a promise to his beloved with no prenup. My God, today. It's awesome. And with that, I'm going to leave you. But I want you to think about and take away the last part of Deuteronomy 28:8, that last verse that I read. The Lord commands the blessing upon thee. He didn't just want to bless you. The Lord commands the blessing upon thee. Do you realize how blessed you are? When the adversary tries to tell you all the negative, show you all of how this, that, and the other, and the third didn't work, and this happened, and that happened, and that, the Lord commands the blessing upon you. Woo! And the blessing has to obey. How about that? I'm going to come up and I'm going to say good evening to everybody. I hope this has blessed you tonight. I love you. I really, really do. DJ Rockin' Ron and his wife are in here as well. So much love to you. I appreciate y'all. It's nothing but mad love to you. I appreciate y'all as you're running errands and listening. Thank you for being in here. I love you so much. Sister DJ Rockin' Ron, I love you too. Thank you for sitting in. Chef Nobi came in and gave us a menu on tonight, and it was tasty. She said I could have everything but the drink, and that's okay. I'll take it all and leave the drink on the table. I love you, sis, and it's good to have you in the room. Coming on down, and one reason, the Bishop of Twitch, who's my bishop, that's my bishop. I appreciate him and In Cookies. Nothing but mad love for you all. Thank you for coming into the house, and you better hold on to her, because she's your, listen, That's your spiritual connect, for sure, for sure. Coming on down, and I'm looking and booking, and Cassandra Isaiah. Come on, sis. I love me some you. Thank you for coming on in here. Mad love to you. OG's Diva is in the house. I love you. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. Every time I see your name, it just blesses my socks off. So much love coming to you, and thank you for coming through the house. Kim Possible 7-Eleven. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. I'm so glad to see you, sis. Nothing but mad love to you. I appreciate you for coming through the house. She is a pastor. If you're in the Atlanta area, please stop by College Park Methodist Church. Correct me on the name and whatever else, but she is in Atlanta. And she is pastoring there as a senior pastor, and I invite you to go and visit her anytime you are in the area. You are welcome, Diva. You are so welcome. I love you too. You are welcome in her house of worship anytime you come through that direction. Please drop in. I love me some you, Kim, and thank you for dropping in on me tonight. Now, as you all know, I'm here every evening. We're doing this journey, a walk through the Word, 6:00 p.m. from Genesis to Revelation in chronological order. We are using both Reese's chronological, and we are also using the Tyndale. So for everybody that has joined us in taking this journey from Genesis to Revelation, I want to appreciate you. The reading, I again encourage you to do on your own, and you have the chapters and the reading material you can go find if you want Reese's chronological. It is listed in my Discord under WOF for Word on Fire Bible Study, and you'll find the reading there. Or you can, many of you, I saw Dr. Dady showed me, or I don't know if she showed me or sent me a pic of, she's got the Tyndale and the 1 year chronological. You can get either or. As I said, the Reese's gets a little more in depth, and I'm married more to the Reese's than I am the Tyndale, but both of them are good. There's no negativity. Get whichever you desire, and we're going to continue this journey on through the rest of the Bible. I love you. I appreciate you. So much love coming to you. We will be back again tomorrow night if the Lord bless and delay is coming and give us strength to be here. We'll be right here on this channel. Same bat time, same bat station, 6:00 in the evening. I love you, and thank you for coming through. You have blessed me, and I hope that I've blessed you. You know how we get up out of here. Peace for your journey.